Okay, now we're going to talk about how to access and then basically get started using Adobe Express, which is a tool that is free to you through your being a student at UAB. And while you are not required to use Adobe Express for this project, you can use Canva, frankly, you can use MS Paint if you really, really want to. I think it's a pretty good idea to get used to using some of these Adobe tools because UAB is an Adobe creative campus, and these are also industry standard apps that are often used in many workplaces. So we're gonna start by going to, this is the way I do it, either whatever your web browser search engine is, I always go to UAB and then I'm gonna say Creative Cloud. So I'm just gonna Google, this is not Google, this is DuckDuckGo, but you can type it into whatever your search engine of choice is. So I will click on Adobe Creative Cloud Center for Teaching and Learning. I think this is a good way to get to it. And if not, we will find out in real time so that you can kind of troubleshoot with me. Let's see, visit your Creative Cloud account. So you can click right here and it should take you to where you can sign in. Let's again cross our fingers that that's true. Yes, okay, fantastic. So here's the important part. You absolutely must use your UAB email. And it already knew that I was here, so this is kind of a false moment. But I wanted you to see that when you log in, it says company or school account. You absolutely must use that. And here we are. Thank goodness it's gonna bring us to this. All right, well, here's the deal. You log in through your company or school account. You have to use that version. And if you're having problems getting in, it's almost certainly because you did not use that one. There are ever so often a few problems. If it's not working, try a different browser. I'm using Chrome, for example. Firefox might work. What probably often does not work is Internet Explorer. That often will create problems. Safari might be a good choice as well. Okay, so once you've actually logged in using your UAB credentials, going through the Duo authentication, you're gonna look for Express. And it's something that is often used throughout. It's pretty widely available, but if you can't find it, you can go to apps and you can search for it here. It's just called Express. There are a lot, it's right here, it's all over the place. So I'm gonna click here and we're gonna be using Adobe Express to create our Project 3 design. So Adobe Express has a lot of options. I'm basically just gonna walk you through how to get started with a basic project. So you always want to go to this purple plus button. That's how I would prefer you to get started because it gives you the most control. Since we are actually composing for Instagram specifically, you can go ahead and click on social media and ads, though I will tell you that if you're designing for a particular project, you can create a custom design. You can go through all these kinds of things, Instagram story, Instagram portrait post, but let's go ahead and go here and see what all you can find. So it puts it in the different, so we can start with Instagram, you can have an option for Facebook, etc. I would suggest either an Instagram portrait post, an Instagram landscape post, or an Instagram carousel. So remember, for your design, you're gonna have to be persuading users to actually engage with something. You might need the carousel where you have a lot of like 1 or 2 or 3 different options. Maybe you want a landscape if you're gonna put a kind of beautiful image that is unique and eye-catching. Maybe you just want one that's that like long version. I'm going to, it really doesn't matter for this particular one. I'm gonna click Instagram carousel. So you see that you can add pages. This gives you the standard Instagram size, and then you can add a page, which then adds another sort of screen for your carousel. So I just want to show you that this is a very intuitive interface. All you have to do here is use this add content. So that's where you're going to put any kind of media that you want to find. So you can upload ones that you already have, but you can also look at Adobe stock. And so this means that you can search up dog, and you have a lot of options that it's not letting me see. Okay, so some of these are included and some of these are not included in our package, but you can see and you can make it bigger or smaller and make it fill the screen. If you don't want it, you can delete it. If I ask you to do some like, okay, why is your design, it doesn't have very much contrast, everything is sort of flat, maybe you want to add some textures. And so I'm going to maybe consider asking you to go to backgrounds. Let's see if I can do all, and I'm going to scroll down and see if we can have background. Oop, dog background. Backgrounds. Let's see what kinds of things we get. So if you want to view all, it gives you some different things that you could pull and create a little bit more texture for your post. This might not ultimately be what you want, but if you do use it, you can kind of pull it through the entire thing to create a little bit more texture. You'll notice that when you go over here to the text, you can choose different fonts. So here is what you've got right here, your new text, but you can go over here to these fonts and choose what it is you want. You could talk about the mood, you could look at all the different ones that are available, and you're gonna create your different contrasting fonts. So basically, whatever you choose over here, and then it populates here, you can change it, edit it, play around with it, give it a different color, all kinds of things in this area. So finally, when you finished your design, whenever it's time for you to turn it in, you're going to want to actually download it, because the sharing I don't want you to give me a link. Please, God, don't give me a link. I need you to download it into either a JPEG or a PNG or a PDF. I don't care what you want to choose. You can do any of these, frankly, but I want you to attach this document to for me, because often these links kind of get messed up and I don't want to have to open a link. I want to be able to see it. And then it auto saves throughout, but you can give it a name and then you can go back and work on it based off of my feedback. So that is your general crash course for getting started with your actual design.